Offensive Player of the Year in the conference. Scott off the spin. And a couple of teams looking for better results on the offensive end. Jalen Anderson to Eli Scott. Yes!
One pass too many. This time Alifiev able to knock it down. Great quick pass from Scott. Eli Scott, what a dime inside for Alif.
Credentials.
They're always happy to see me as long as I got this headset on.
Scott this time distributing.
Nice.
Dan Jordan Johnson really wanted an over and back. That shot's rejected.
Jalen Anderson to Eli Scott. 5 on the timer. Eli Scott, fall away in the air. It's good with 13.
I'm trying to think of an analogy that I could use for that. Like working a long day in construction.
He comes from a very different background from most coaches.
Sure, there was no second chance.
Just another inability to convert the turnover, and now a layup for LMU. Great pass from Eli.
Scott and Reevney. And the foul. And down by 1. Here come the Lions.
The Lions haven't had a field goal in over 4.5 minutes. That's the first field goal in 4.5.
Can't have that same freewheeling mentality.
Eli Scott, long ball, first make.
With 1 minute remaining. Scott to Markison, dunks it back door. And we are even.
The game of the year in Champ Week last year without question, but I would put it up against any game in the last 10 years of Champ Week.
I mean, how many great shooters is Randy Bennett? He just doesn't have one this year, period. Eli Scott with the left hand. Nice
meeting in 3 days between these two teams. With kind of a scheduling quirk and around and around.
And ready to fire up some jumpers. Off the steal now. Scott muscles it in.
Loyola Marymount in a little bit of a field goal drought in 7 minutes and counting. Here's Scott with the lefty finish.
He's outscored the rest of his teammates.
It's got to be him. It's got to be him. Booth Gosh just got caught in the finish.
I think Stan Johnson kept that ball in play in that last possession. Very, I don't know if he meant to. That's Scott all over the basket.
Cut off by Green. Lang swing it right corner for Eli Scott with 5 on the shot clock. Up and under across the lane. Left hand floater is good.
Low and leave it this time for Shad. Shad has it.
Johnson with 11 points. Eli Scott all the way in.
Savvy attempt there by Scott, unable to get the foul. You can feel his frustration. He's 1 of 7 shooting today. Baseline, Jay.
On the other side, Ohio hot. Picks up a second quick foul. Back out to Eli Scott.
Above all else for the Gonzaga Bulldog program.
Aaron Cook also getting a start, a senior grad transfer from Southern Illinois.
I can tell you this, Loyola Marymount has 6 offensive rebounds and only 3 second chance points. A good margin for those of you who may not be worried.
Guard Eli Scott.
If you're Eli Scott, you got to go. Make some plays.
Well, that was a great look, and that's what you get it.
But Jordan, that's a shot that Gabe Kalsher would have took in game 1, and I think that will pay off later on. He had a good look.
The Dogs, if the Gauchos get a stop here, and here's the shot missed. Scott the rebound, put it back up, tipped it up and in.
Lions with a 7-point lead out of the timeout. Jalen Anderson, Damian Douglas, Ivan Alifiev, Eli Scott, and Matthias Markison as Eli Scott. All 3 of their losses have been to West Coast Conference opponents, including San Diego in their last game, as Eli Scott, nice feed inside for Kelly Lane.
That's where LMU likes to play through, right?
Yeah.
Maybe shorthanded in the backcourt, but if they can get to this spot, they can be efficient.
Well, see, Pugh finally could have a pick and pop up top. Now they're going to go to Scott, let him go operate.
He attacks Vranic, who lets him lay it in.
Pepe going into Coonan. Spin move. He's got to get it out of that lane. Here's Eli Scott. Drains the triple.
Handle the ball, bring it up. But without him, you're playing all with bigs. Oh, nice pass.
The alley. Ooh. to Marcus. Only two guards. Dortch is the other guard. He's with it right now, and he's kind of a guard forward, too, depending on the system they're running. Another oop from Scott to Marcus.
Knocked it away. There's Scott on the drive around Curry for the bucket.
Adjusting so far to his role at Minnesota.
Now underneath Scott. They were letting him have that three. Now Scott, yes.
Tess isn't too much of a three-point shooter, so they're going to let him go, but that's the second time we've seen them leave him alone from 15 feet or more. Another rebound as the Lions look to build on their 11-point lead. Eli Scott off the pass from Anderson into the right post, spinning away and muscling it in with the left. Bad pass stolen by Douglas, and the Lions look to push as Quintana to Eli Scott. Euro step to the rim, counted and one. 69-47, Lions in front, 4 minutes to play. As Eli Scott down the lane all the way to the rim, left-hand layup. Ricochets off the iron. Eli Scott comes away with the rebound and now controls in the front court. Dancing near the free throw line, down the lane, runner off the glass is good. Puts it into Eli Scott on the right block. Immediately matched up with the aforementioned Coonan. Goes right at him. Left hand baby hook across the lane is good.
In the offseason, before the season started, this team had adopted a motto of win the weight.
It's Eli Scott, baby, and two for Scott. Lions lead by 8, 68-60. Khalil Shabazz to the rim, blocked by Scott. And that'll put the
for a more professional guy. He really works with his players well.
That was just a little clear out for Scott, and he gets the roll.
If you're not set, you're going to get called on a moving screen.
Also been after a game in which they had only 4 turnovers. Scott knocks down a 3. Scott. Bell overplayed him, and Scott took it from the shin. Now they'll back it out. Nice pass by Scott and a finish by Anderson.
Scott, a well-built big right there.
Point forward, and he too will have a chance.
Drop that down for Scott. They recover it. Now Douglas in the corner. Scott down low. Scott, yes, and one.
Got to feel pretty good if you're San Diego. Stan Johnson, now they're back in the zone on him.
Scott starting to take over. Takes the
LMU's figured that out by now that it's made missed.
Scott up and over.
5 more seconds than they have had before.
Sullivan able to squeeze it into Rodriguez. Erased by Eli Scott.
It is.
I mean, I'm just thinking there, quick pass back to Eli Scott.
Very close to their campus. So he has a high major first step.
Eli Scott strong to the line.
Let's get one bucket, and then there'll probably be a foul.
And hang on to the ball.
And how about that? You end up setting your defense.
They have not been shooting threes well. Eli Scott in.
You see Scott likes this inside. Clear out. He loves to get into people with angles just like that. More aggressive defensively and force people out of their comfort zone. See if he get a zone, and that's not the answer. During that timeout, they made the nice adjustment.
Here's Scott for 3. Yes, Eli Scott.
But LMU is right there. I mean, this is an explosive team. This guy here, he can make things happen.
Going around everybody to the left hand.
Really loves analytics, and they've really invested. So I wouldn't say it's
He's able to use his body differently this year because of that added strength. Speaking of strength, Eli Scott changing hands mid.
He played 20 minutes, had, I believe, 7 points, and was he contributed. Boy, Scott
going to the offhand, still getting it to go.
And to put that in perspective, the program had lost over 20 games last year. The program hadn't won 5. Welcome out of back. Out of an LMU called timeout. BYU smothering the Lions.
And you see right here, you see that Pep was looking to get out in transition. They get the steal and a great basket for anyone. And you know, those numbers are indicative of what he brings to the table.
LMU 6. Off the rim. Who is it? Leah Pepe. I'm a big fan. I'm going to be honest right now.
I am as well.
But do you know how to? Do you know where to? Do you know when to? That's what makes Joel Ayayi so spectacular. Dave? It was Duke. Back in 91 and 92, it has been that long since we've had a team base.
One-on-one. He did. Still waiting. He's certainly not forcing things early on.
It's done for him. It's over.
Scott catch, score with a foul.